Hey there, hi there. It's me, Priscilla B. And I've been thinking about doing this reading for a while now, and I'm finally doing it. So, yeah, and I'm doing what I'm doing actually is I'm taking like a bunch of different decks that I really like and enjoy, and I'm blending them together, and that's how I'm going to do this reading. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a little bit of a wild card style type reading. So the main energy though that I really feel drawn to is this one part in particular, and I think this kind of explains across the board the collective energy for this group. And I'd love to hear anybody's feedback or how they might be feeling or what they might be thinking. So nothing is off limits. Just be kind and polite, and um, yeah. So the main card or the main energy I have to say collectively that I've been feeling from this group is the Ace of Wands. Okay, this is creative spark in my opinion. Like what ignites that flame, right? What ignites that passion and that creative spark inside of us all, and how we carry that torch for ourselves, and how do we bring that light and be that um, like fire bearer, right? Light keeper of peace, right? How do we keep that going? And this Ace of Wands card, I really think speaks on all levels to that energy collectively. Um, so let's take a look here. Ooh, Knight of Swords coming in hot. All right, the Knight of Swords. This is somebody. This is a masculine energy, a divine masculine energy. That when this energy is used correctly, can bring in a lot of great insight and a lot of great knowledge, and that will make people feel powerful. That will give people hope. That will bring inspiration to others. So this is like a messenger of hope and strength, and will to keep fighting on and power through the hardships that life throws at many of us. Okay. Ooh, the Sun card. Yes, I've been like getting. I feel like a lot of like subliminal messages of this, like a lot of downloads of this Sun card energy. You have a child here riding on the horse. The white horse symbolizes purity, but it's also interesting that the Knight of Swords rides a white horse as well. And I feel like spiritually, like symbolically, that is a sense of purity and hope and spiritual awakening. And also find like it has a lot to do with consciousness and taking away all of the pain of the past and getting right into the essence of like who we are as like our inner child, right? And oh, also happy um Chinese New Lunar Year. Um so you're the snake, so that's really cool. And I did have a dream about a white snake last night, so that's pretty cool. Maybe I'll do a dream reading about that later. But anyways, so yeah, so this is like inner child, like sun, like energy, which is the sun is also. It's interesting how it's like a big ball of fire, right? And passion and creativity and um, the sun is a symbol of light, and it brings the growth of new things. So hope, there we go. So there's like a main theme here of like hope and new beginnings. I find to be the real message here, the main message here. King of Pentacles. So there is this sort of main focus here on money and finances from a masculine energy. So the King of Pentacles, he's really good with his money. He's, like a good financier, right? Like he's good at financially planning things and executing financial plans and means of bringing in money. So, yeah, yeah, I think that's like the main thing here is like your creative energy is something that you want to profit from. You want to profit off of your creativity and you want to make money. And this is stemming from like a dream or vision you've had since you were a child of like being an artist or being artistic in some way, a storyteller, a writer, somebody who comes up with creative ways of sharing things with people and you want to make your living off of that. You want your spiritual self, your inner child self, to be connected with how you make money. Like almost like you look at yourself when you were a child and how you had such a wild imagination, you had such vivid imagination, and um, you had all this wisdom and knowledge, but you didn't know exactly how to express it yet because you were still just a child. And now, as you've grown into a man with, you know, financial obligations, you now want to see how your creativity brings in financial gain and how you can teach others about money through that. I don't feel like you teach about money, like you're not like a financer, but like you learned a lot about bit like management, money management, or there's something that is going on between that by like in that regard. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles. Money, 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 money. Okay, money problems, right? No, Ace of Pentacles is like, this is like a very high point in your life. I feel like collectively everybody wants, you know, to win the lottery or win, you know, $1 million, right? Let's say. But the universe sends in the blessings, right, that we deserve, right? And we all feel we deserve a lot, you know, especially when we're struggling the most. Um, so, like, it's like the sun is shining down on you, this, like, giant pentacle there, right? And the universe is handing you all the answers you seek for your financial abundance and your rewards, like, financially, like speaking, money is important. It's significant to us all. It's all on our minds every single day, and you know, so you know, there's a lot of hope here that the answer to all of your like financial worries is like the universe is sending you that message. Now we have Knight of Pentacles. Yeah. See, it changes. The energy shifts into this energy of this man on a quest to finding his pentacle in the form of a sunflower, nonetheless. So everyone I feel like is on a journey toward finding their abundance. And I feel like it's a spiritual journey as well as like a material gain, right? It's like, you know, and you know, it's so interesting too because it's just like right around tax season too. So like, it's interesting. Like, it's a pathway toward success, financial success. Um, that the quest is for that, I think here. Oh, Three of Cups. Yes, here are these. So yeah, Three of Cups. This is like celebration here. These three women are celebrating here. Divine feminine energy. Um, they're drinking wine. The grapes are in harvest. The pumpkins are in harvest. They're having an all-around great, amazing, kick-ass time. Okay, so I love that it's falling right under Ace of Wands here. Yeah, like these divine feminines are tuned in, okay? They know what they're talking about. They know where that spark comes from. They're very creative. They're making like the most merriest, best of times. And they're very tapped into celebrating and having good times and drinking wine and just all in all, like great, amazing energy. Um, there is this Four of Cups, though, right side by side next to, like, right under the Knight of Swords. This is a man, a young man, who is not having a good time at all. The universe is handing him that cup saying, enjoy the wine, enjoy the fun, good time, celebrate, let loose, have fun. But he doesn't want to. He's, like, in a very, like, down facing, maybe he's suffering from depression type of energy, and he's looking at these three cups and he's like not satisfied. It's like, what is going to satisfy you? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not grateful for the little things or the small victories, you're just waiting for that like big payout or that big, you know, like moment or whatever. It's like, but in order to get there, you still need to celebrate the little things. You still need to recognize, I feel like the Three of Cups, like maybe this masculine energy is not tapping into his feminine energy enough to recognize that that is still an innate part of everyone. Every living thing has a feminine and a masculine side. And human beings, I think, are the least likely of species that know this and are aware of this and can actually tune into that. Six of Pentacles, yes, this is like a very rich, wealthy man giving to the poor. Obviously, you know, he's has a balance scale here to like tell him like what is fair, what is not. The scales are invalid, like are invalid, and he's handing money to this one man in particular who looks a little bit younger than this other older man who's bald. So it's interesting. It's like the fairness of like the wealthy, I think like the rich and the wealthy giving to or investing in only certain individuals um, is like the rich only sharing with the rich. You know what I'm saying? Like there needs to be like a Robin Hood moment here or something like that, you know, where like fair is supposed is like it's like the it almost I'm almost getting the feeling that this rich man is like tipping the scales into the favor of only those that are wealthy enough or not like that poor. You know what I'm saying? Like you can only be so poor, right? Like making standards for the lower class. Like and it's interesting that this falls under the sun card because I feel like when we're kids, we don't necessarily grow up of like I guess maybe there's a select few that do. I don't know too many, but like I feel like there is like a part of us as a child that doesn't think or care about money. We don't value our friendships based on that. And then we get to an age, probably like puberty or like maybe a little bit past that, where we're like, oh, we have to value our friendships based on income. We have to value our who we marry based off their class, right? Like a class wars or something. This isn't something that happens to like when we're younger and like we see what other kids have versus what we have, we don't really know how to make sense of it until we learn about money and society and class and rich people and poor people. And this sun card, this inner child card, he's not surrounded by money and wealth, right? He's surrounded by sunflowers. So I feel like this is like taking money and turning it into something like spiritual. Like I feel like the sunflowers represent like a soulful spiritual thing, not like taking like Robin Hood, like taking money from the rich and giving it to the poor. Like it's like a philanthropist or like somebody like that, you know? Yeah, I feel like this boy grew up and became the King of Pentacles, you know, or something like that. And like now he's this masculine energy with all this money and all this power. And the universe, I think, is teaching him like what you do with it matters and how you get it matters. And that's why you have Knight of Pentacles and Knight of Swords, right? Finding the spiritual path, following the path to the sunflower, right? that's what that pentacle symbolizes. Um, yeah, material gain and spiritual gain. Like there's two paths here. One is a spiritual path and one is like a material path. And the two are intertwined. Yeah, Ten of Wands. There's Michael, stressed out. The boss is stressed out. World's best boss, Michael, with his cute little like thing. Yeah. So it's like the boss here, the manager here. Usually, like the leadership role here, usually has to deal with like a lot of stress and is going through a lot, especially when a lot of wands are involved, especially 10. I feel like that's like someone dropping like all of their like challenges like into your lap and saying, "Here, solve them for me." You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting because then it falls right under the King of Pentacles. So if the King essentially is the collective energy here of someone who is like trying to gain financial um, success through their spiritual work and their creative work, and other people want to uh, get help from this person, and this person is like they can't do it all, because they're dealing with their own struggles and their own challenges. If they're still like looking for their pentacle, if they're still looking for that big reward, right? Um, Wheel of Fortune, right under the Ace of Pentacles. Um, the wheel is spinning. It's endlessly spinning, right? And where it points and what direction it goes is always an interesting factor to play into the financial aspect of things looking up and then things looking down. So we have the Tower card, okay? Things out of control, chaos, the crown, bursting into flames with the tower here. Like somebody has lost their I feel like the crown chakra is not where it needs to be, right? It's not connected to this plan or this um, it things are not connecting where they need to connect. Like the dots are not connecting. Um, So, fire, again, passion. There's a lot of flames here. There's a lot of passion. There's a lot of creative energy. It's coming from all different directions outside all these different windows. So, there's a lot of like fires that need to be put out, right? Like, this can be literal or it can be metaphorical. It could be both, right? Like, what is happening consciously like going on inside of us and how we're dealing with things and processing things and how the outside world is happening, what's happening out there, right? Like what goes on in the outside world does affect us on the inside in mental space, mental clarity. Um, and there's a female and a male falling out of the tower. So there's that divine masculine, divine feminine energy that's probably out of balance and it's going through a fall, it's going through a loss, it's going through a moment of great like all of the I guess like building blocks that have been built to protect this energy have been destroyed. And it's all a big mess, right? Tower. Um, Justice, the law. Okay. Um, this is a woman here. Again, I'm getting like really strong divine feminine energy here. Um, and I feel like she's been through some battles of her own and she's come out with a lot of really good answers. And knowing what is good, what is the best outcome, what is the fairest outcome out of all of this, right? And what does the law say about like how someone is maybe yeah, so justice, like it's happening. um yeah, the Fool card. Actually, I think this card came out twice, so it's like a feminine energy of like, you know, freedom and like accepting new change and embracing like a new world, a whole new adventure, and like a just one, you know. And um there's the Fool here too with this deck, and this is a masculine energy, like a masculine figure here. So it's like you have to understand like there's two energies, there's feminine and masculine, and the two being in like harmony with each other and together as one energy, working together side by side, is like really important. And that's what balances things, right? When like the feminine energy is like not like receiving like support and understanding of like the more softer side of life, the more nurturing, loving side to life. And like also feminine energy is a very creative energy. It's the creation, like Empress. This is another card here that is in my pile. This is the Empress, okay? A mother, a loving, nurturing energy, okay? And it's a strong force, but it's something that needs to be respected and maintained. And the masculine side to this reading is showing me that there is a lot of chaos. There is a lot of, you know, this tower energy, things collapsing, um, people, you know, not being very fortunate, being misfortunate. Um, but the two working together, like facing each other and understanding what both has to offer to the table. um yeah, so definitely two energies that need to like try to work together, to create harmony and balance, okay. Yeah, see the sun. It's Kelly from The Office. Oh my gosh, she's so much fun. She talks like this. She's like, oh my god, right? But she dates Brian, who's like this like super toxic guy, right? But it's still interesting because here she is, all, you know, glowing in yellow, sunshine, smiles. She's having herself a blast, and she's the customer service representative. So whenever customers have issues, they go to her for help. So and that's right here next to the Fool card. Okay, so the sun coming out twice, the Fool coming out twice in alignment, side by side. And the sun is shining bright here down on this masculine Fool energy. Okay, and I feel like it's because you're like you have like a sunny disposition, you know, like, and it's like a good customer relations, you know, like you're great at customer service. I feel like, which is really awesome. You have a lot of like enthusiasm and energy, lots of energy, like positive, fun, like just high energy, okay, hyper energy, okay. And then you have the Strength card here as well, and I love how this ties this in perfectly. And what I'm doing here is I'm laying out the cards, and I feel like it's coming together in like a sort of like timeline too. It's like one card right after the other is making sense of what's going on right now at this time. And the Empress and the Strength card are, the Empress is at the beginning and the Strength is at the end here. And the energies going on in between are Justice on the Empress side, the Sun on the Strength side, the Fool, the masculine, and the Fool, the feminine. So this feminine energy fights for justice, and she fights for love and kindness and nurturing and growth and creativity. And this masculine energy fights for like hope and renewal and growth, like the sun, right? And strength and courage. So it's in the Strength card also, you have a female witch with a male masculine lion. So it's a beautiful energy here. So even with these tower moments, even with these falls from grace or these masculine and feminine energies, like not being where they need to be balanced and harmony working together, things are going to come together. There is a time for everything. Um, yeah. The moon card, emotions run high, emotions run low, right? And it's interesting. It's also interesting how it's the Lunar New Year today, the year of the snake, and we have the Lovers card here as well, masculine and feminine energies again, with the snake in the Garden of Eden, if you believe in like the Bible and stuff. And I was looking up the like Chinese. I wasn't going to talk about the dream, but now it's like might as well get into that. But I had a dream about a white snake in water. Um, so I had a dream about a white snake in the water last night, and basically I looked up what the meaning of that could be in Chinese culture. And a white snake appearing in a dream in water often symbolizes positive transformation, spiritual growth, purity, and sometimes even a potential romantic encounter. The white snake is often associated with the legend of the white snake, the I think it's Bai snake, but Bai snake, BAI snake. Okay, um, and a powerful deity who represents love and overcoming obstacles, making it a generally auspicious sign. Okay, so yeah. It represents a cleansing or healing process happening within you. Also, the white snake, feminine energy. Legend portrays the snake as a female figure, so it can also symbolize a strong feminine energy or intuition. And then the romantic potential, due to the romantic storyline of the white snake, legend, seeing a white snake in water could signify a potential new love interest or a deepening of an existing relationship. Okay, so I think that this is like definitely like loving that feminine side of yourself and the masculine side of yourself, both sides, because you have to care about each part of that. You have to nurture the masculine energy and the feminine energy together to make like one unified like power source, right? To come to harmony and balance within yourself, like the yin and the yang. So that's what I think is like the spiritual aspect of this reading, and its alignment with the moon. So I think it's all coming together. And you have the Seven of Swords. Okay. I call this one the sneaky Seven of Swords because he always has like this sneaky face, like he's getting away with something, like he's taken the swords and stolen them so the soldiers can't fight anymore, right? So someone trying to steal your power or take your voice away from you or your power away from you in a masculine form could be a potential threat to you. But I do think that like because there's so much positivity here, like it's so hard for this energy to actually win, right? Unless we give people the power and we let them take the power away from us. Yeah, judgment. Okay. And I was just watching an episode from Mad Men, and the one character was talking about the judgment card and how we can interpret this as like the end of days, the end of times, right? But I think what's happening here is these people are rejoicing and celebrating because they're like being like reborn again or given another chance. Like their souls are ascending to the heavens, and like rebirth and transformation is happening for them, and they're finally like no longer in suffering and in pain. um, so I don't think it's necessarily like a negative aspect here. I think that people who feel weak and pressured down by society and money problems and health problems will try to hold on to anything they can to not lose hope and lose faith that there's something bigger and better for them. And that's spiritually something people like connect to. um Eight of Wands. Okay, usually this means a lot of messages coming in from a lot of different directions, a lot of different sources. And so I have to say, like, there's some cute little butterflies here too. So, like, there is support on the way. There are good messages coming in. Um, there is um, that sense of hope and renewal and like restorativeness and like rejuvenation. So like a spa day or something, like, is always nice. Like, things like that can really, and it's on the like Empress side of things. So it's like reminding me like messages of self-care, messages of self-love, self-worth, positive insight, positive affirmations. I feel like that's direction to go in. Yeah, Ace of Swords. Knowledge, wisdom is power. It's absolute. Um, so once you have gained, and the crown is on top of the sword next to the tower card. So, yeah, it's like you can align your chakras, right? You can work on your crown chakra, right? Um, I'm not a chakra expert, but I do know that like when you have all of these thoughts and ideas, and like when people are attacking your mind with their words, that can cause a lot of pain and stress, and that can cause like migraines, headaches, things like that, especially when you're getting messages um, from people that are like very threatening and very negative. So that can lead to like headaches and physical, like emotional pain can turn into physical pain. That energy, that negative energy. um, so the crown chakra is also known as the seventh and highest chakra in yogic philosophy. I think that's like yogic philosophy. It's located at the top of the head and associated with the color purple. Yeah, it's connected to the divine, the universe, and our highest self, transformation, and sense of divinity. It's also shaded with wisdom, unity, and self knowledge. In the universe, right? You have the Ace of Swords, so that's the universe handing you this here. It's a space where individual consciousness meets universal consciousness. Okay? And it can, when balanced, it can create a sense of trust, a sense of, well, you can have a sense of detachment, obviously, and a sense of euphoria and wonderment and calm. So, like, detaching from negative energies and focusing on the energies that you trust and those that bring you a sense of euphoria, wonderment, and calm and peace is really important here. And that's your biggest, like, strength. Knowing, like, the wisdom to know when like you're like under attack and people are giving you negative energy, and like how to protect yourself from that. Yeah, because there is people who are not emotionally supportive of your journey. They're too detached. But there's a big but, right? There is a happy outcome here. So I'll just read you these last cards. Um, yeah, this is a good. Yeah, this is good. Okay, Five of Cups. Yeah, so emotional detachment here. There are people who are not emotionally supportive of your journey, your spiritual journey into finding financial success through spirituality and spiritual work. So, so that can cause a little bit of like hibernation, or like, sort of going into like hermit mode here a little bit. Not like totally withdrawn completely, but withdrawn enough to where you're like shielding yourself almost with this black cloak, like facing the darkness, but doing it in a way where it's like you don't want others too much outside opinion influencing you. There are two cups here that are like upright, but there are three that are spilled out. So I think you're trying to trust the right people and find the right inner like knowing and information that's um so yeah, and like also here is the Knight of Wands as well. So it's interesting that you are somebody who is like really good at like listening to others and getting messages from others, but you also have like a very strong message of your own, and it's a powerful one. And I feel like it stems from like a very strong masculine influence in your life where you've had to be the protector, you've had to be the provider, which are these typical like masculine, historically masculine job titles, right? So, but it's something that you do have a lot of knowledge in like knowing, like intuitive knowing too. I feel like on these matters. So like you want to share your message on that as well. I find. Yeah, good job. Four of Swords, a time of rest, a time of relaxation, a time of peace. You have had a lot of battles in your time. You've gone through a lot of trials and tribulations. So for you to like be able to rest and really just like recharge your batteries and relax for a little while is a really key component here to your overall health and well-being. Yeah, because right after that is death, transformation. So you don't want to work yourself to death. You don't want to work yourself to the bone. Um, yeah, there's like a pope down here with a woman and her child, and then there's a king, a fallen king here. So, like, take it easy on yourself. Yeah, there's a lot of like, I feel like, um, powerful transformative processes that are yet to happen or are happening, but take your time with them. Like, and also know that nothing has to be final and absolute unless, like, it's time. But I feel like right now it's like a slow transformative process into moving into a new cycle in your life where you're relying on yourself to know that you have the power within you and you don't need to rely on others to help you. It's nice to have support, but sometimes you have to do the work on your own. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's this death card here. Um, and the hermit, yeah, like hermit mode is a great mode to be in, especially when there's dark times, especially so carrying your light forward through the darkness. Okay, so this hermit, okay, it's like there's winter. Um, yeah, it's that time where you're taking that emotional, spiritual, like soulful trip, like business trip, like alone, like you're on your own, doing your own work and carrying your own torch, for yourself, but you also like have so much wisdom within you, and so much strength within you that you can lead others. Like you are a leader, you are a strong person. Um, but the leaders, they have to like go out on their own first to find the answers and then go back and then tell others, right? And then lead others, right? So it's an interesting combination of like isolation and introvertedness and being on your own, but also wanting to help others at the same time and be like a beacon of hope and like inspiration. Yeah, there's definitely going to be other people that like don't support this, as obviously like Nine of Wands here. There's going to be people like traitors, like haters that you can't trust. You can see here this masculine man here. He's like eyes are like looking behind him, watching his back here. He's been hurt before, so he doesn't really know who he can trust. So, the hermit is an old man here, very wise. He's obviously been hurt before. He's obviously gone through stuff before, but he still wants to do the right thing. Like it's masculine energy there. So it's like your future older self will thank you for the work you do now, right? Even if it's hard, even if you feel hurt and betrayed by others who shared wisdom or knowledge or advice with you that was not good advice, right? Um, happy endings, happily ever afters, like once upon a time fairy tales. I don't know, like if you believe that stuff, but Ten of Cups, rainbows, the family, the masculine, the feminine. This doesn't have to be taken literally, okay? This is like a masculine energy and a feminine energy in balance and harmony together, creating. Like these don't have to be literal children. They can be your projects, they can be your pursuits of happiness, whatever they may be. And it could be both, literal and metaphorical. And there's a beautiful rainbow here of energy, the Ten of Cups. So that's that emotional, like rainbow or kaleidoscope of colors here that shows you an array of different like opportunities that are all positive and good outcomes that bring you emotional fulfillment. Okay, and there's the Justice card again. Oh my goodness, there she is again. I love how she's a female. I just love it. Okay. But again, very strong feminine energy that her like ideas and opinions and her laws and her rules are really meant for good. And to bring justice, and it's an important thing to remember, especially in times where we feel like injustices have been done to us and we don't know why. We're just trying to get to this, we're all just trying to get to that Ten of Cups. And in order to do that, sometimes we need to like play the role of our own advocate for ourselves, our own lawyer to ourselves, so that we can get the things that we deserve, that we know deep down inside that we deserve. Um, yeah, because there's and there's the Hierophants. Yeah, the Hierophant again. Like again, this is something that these two men here are praying to him with the keys. It's like masculine energy, right? And there's a root to like all things. Like there's a start to everything. And sometimes the cycle of like keeping on that path of like righteousness or like self-righteousness isn't always like the best, right? Sometimes like when we're pursuing something for like material gain isn't always the best thing. Sometimes we need to like get off our high horse and like actually like do the work and actually feel what it feels like to be in the bottom and be the underdog and be the one who's striving for success and who wants that. And there's always going to be a leader, right? There's always going to be somebody who's like in charge of everything, that like when you see yourself as that person who should be in charge. And the thing is like we are all in charge of our own lives. We shouldn't give that away to anybody. But sometimes we do have to have a boss that we have to listen to, right? Like, sometimes there's always someone you got to answer to, right? Like the government or something. Like, so it's interesting. And then you have the Knight of Cups. Okay, so another message again of bringing in emotional answers to emotional needs being met. Mental clarity. Yeah, Five of Swords. I think this is all about mental clarity here. Somebody has lost and somebody has won a battle. And somebody trying to scare you or intimidate you out of your like own home and your own safety and your own security is never a battle you want to go into. But in this day and age, we all know that that's a battle we have to face every day. Well, maybe not every day, but like sometimes it happens. So when that happens, you kind of have to like pick up your sword and fight for your rights and what you deserve. And I feel like your enemies have lost. Like they wanted so much to like bring destruction to you, and like you stood your ground, right? Again, another masculine energy there. And then we have the Nine of Wands. Okay, this is Dwight in his farm, his bee farm with his wands, and he's like, contemplating life, I think, a little bit there, just taking a little break and still planting his beets and doing his thing, and the sun is shining on him. But I feel like his facial expression is like one of caution. Like he knows he has enemies because he's been attacked before. So now he's a little bit more cautious and wary of the things around him. But he's still going to he's still going to get down to work. He's still going to plant those seeds for growth and hope and renewal. And he's still going to plan for his future, but he's going to do it now, being a little bit more cautious of who he trusts and why, right? And then you have Temperance, Stanley, okay? And Stanley is making himself some coffee here, his word search puzzle, his pretzel. I love this little sign here because it's the masculine and feminine sign combined, and like a little pin on his business suit there. And I find it's like, again, the universe is saying find harmony and balance within the masculine side and the feminine side to yourself, and love and embrace both sides. So last but not least, the Empress energy, divine feminine energy here. So the motherly, nurturing, loving, creative energy, okay? So goddess energy, like creative painting, artistry, okay? Pam loves to paint. So there is a lot of very good energy all around. There's that energy and need for temperance, the masculine energy that understands the balance between feminine and masculine, the need for that emotional stability. Okay, I find is the temperance card, the understanding to like ignore the like trauma and the chaos and just so it's like balancing out those masculine and feminine energies along with this Empress energy, being the self-love, self-care, like nurturing type that actually like really does love helping others and has like the whole like mom vibe, mom energy, but also knows her worth too. Like knows when she's like being used and knows when it's time to say like no. Like, So those are the energies that I picked up on. That's the reading that I have for you. Love and light always. Thanks for watching. Bye.